In this session, I'm going to show you how you install Ubuntu on your Windows machine using Windows subsystem for Linux, and also you can run it using PowerShell. So I'm running PowerShell as administrator. So you want to go to my Ubuntu box, I can type bash, and this will lead me to Ubuntu terminal. So it will take some time, but it's loading. So you can see I'm in the Ubuntu terminal, and I can type all Linux commands. Yeah, so how you can do this, first of all, let me clear. So for you to be able to run this Ubuntu on your Windows machine, the first thing you need to do, you need to check the version of your Windows machine. You can use this command winvar, and you can execute this command winvar. You can just run the command and it will show you that okay, my Windows machine is version 20H2. For you to be able to run the Windows subsystem for Linux, you need version 1909 and later versions of Windows 10. So I'm good to go. So one thing you need to do, you need first of all to download the WSL, which is the Windows subsystem for Linux, and you can get it on the Microsoft Store. So it's the WSL tool. Searching. So you'll also need, after downloading WSL2, you'll also need to download the application for Windows. That is, you'll also get it in Microsoft Office. And for me, I've already installed both of them. I've already installed WSL, and yeah, and also I've also installed the Ubuntu version of Windows. That's an application that it's almost it's 8 MBs, and you can download it from the Microsoft Office. So I will also leave the links to the download pages in the description. So let me just go straight to the video and show you what you need to do after installing the WSL2 and also Ubuntu. First thing you need to do is, let me go back to PowerShell. First thing you need to do is enable the WSL2, and this is the command that I'll be using to enable WSL2, which is Windows Subsystem for Linux version 2. This feature will enable us to boot Ubuntu on this Windows machine. So you can just run the command, and you can see the imaging tool is being deployed, and it will take some moments if you're doing this for the first time. You can see the feature is enabling, and it may take some time. So you can also download the Ubuntu application, and I have already installed the Ubuntu application 20.04. That's the application that I'm currently using to run my Ubuntu. So after the feature is enabling, let's also check the. Let me close this. You can see the feature is already enabled and the operation now is completed. So the other thing you need to do is to check the to set the version of WSL2, you set the version to be version 2, and I'll just run the command, and you can see I need to update the final version for WSL2 for the update to be complete, and I can do that later. But if you're doing for the first time, you'll have to just do it directly and type the command to set the WSL2 as default version for Windows system for Linux. So the other thing you need to do is type this command below, which will show you the version of Ubuntu and the current state. You can see the box is stopped, and yeah, after doing all this and you'll have already installed the Ubuntu Desktop App, you can go and run the bash command. You can run the bash command for you to log into the Ubuntu terminal, and you can also search for the Ubuntu application and also run it as administrator. The two methods are going to do exactly the same thing. So let's wait for the Ubuntu application to start. So Ubuntu, you can just click on the application. So just click it multiple times. But yeah, the application is just going to display the same thing, whether you run it on the terminal or you run it on, just open the application, or either run it on the terminal or use PowerShell to open the Ubuntu. So you can see I can also try to go to the root directory, and you can see I need administrative privileges in order to access that directory. So I can just do sudo s and type my password. You can just close this. So let me just clear. So that's what you need to do for you to be able to run Ubuntu on your Windows machine. I'll leave the links for the Ubuntu application in the description, and also uh, the website of WSL2. Also, I'll link it in the description. If this video is appealing to you, give it a like and subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you in the next video.